Hey everybody, it's Sean here at Gamescom 2014. I've got Bull from Paradox Development Studio who's here to show us Runemaster for the very first time. Bull, tell us what we're seeing here.
Yeah, we're about to enter a world of Norse mythology, and it's a tactical RPG. It's actually our studio's first RPG ever, even though Crusader Kings 2 did have elements of RPG. And it's also our first tactical battle, it's also our first venture into the unknown.
It's a lot of firsts.
Yeah, we're living history for mythology, actually. So it's gonna be an interesting ride. So what you see here first is that you select a race, and there are 6 different races to choose from. And they all share worlds in some aspects, so there are actually 4 starting worlds, but we're gonna go with humans in Midgard.
Okay.
So, we have 3 classes, but you can only see 2. One is Skald, that is a ranged hero. We have Berserker, that is melee combat. And then we also have the Runemaster, that is focused on magic. But each race only have 2 classes, so you sort of have to pick and choose.
Sure.
So, what do you want?
Ooh, you know, as much as I like the beard on that Berserker, let's go with Skald.
Okay, Skald it is. So, and now we can just choose a banner. And do you have a name preference, or should we go with Gudrid? Or maybe a randomized name?
Yeah, let's randomize it.
So Sigrid, maybe?
Sigrid?
Yeah.
Thorhalla has a good name too. I like Thorhalla.
Okay,
that's
Thorhalla.
a good one.
That sounds like she already picked side. Yeah. So what happens now is that every single world in this game is completely randomized every time we play. So it's a new venture every time. This is a fairly early alpha build, so of course it's not as randomized as it's gonna be. But as you can see, we're complete fans of old school RPGs, and it's a bit of top down. And the quests in this game is randomized as well. So we can just have a quick chat with Valdemar here. The story goes that he found us in the woods and we were muttering about a vision. And he can't really help us with that, but he gives us our weapon back and says like, well, go on. You know,
You're not my
free.
problem anymore.
Yeah. So we actually got a feeble bow arrangement, so we can just jump in and equip that. And for RPG fans, you know, you can see the health, the armor, the melee damage, and so on. You can see the inventory that is pretty empty if we go in there. Ta-da! And we have personal traits, but we'll delve into that later. So let's jump out. And we're on our way. And the only thing we know is we need to find out more about this vision we had.
Okay.
So the game is a lot about exploration, and it's about storytelling, and it's about battles. So here comes the battle. This is an easy one, or fairly simple one, just to learn you the ropes. What you can see here is the victory condition. It's defeat Lars' bullies. So we're gonna do that. And since I suspect that Sarah loves her abilities, she's gonna try and take them out immediately with an ability. And it was the eagle eye shot, so she got it pretty good. But a few lone survivors there.
Yeah.
You can see the blinking, that's the focus points that we spend on the ability. And at him again. So yeah, we're going for the kill.
Strike early.
Yeah. So now we're actually getting our first unit. So we're gonna go with axemen since we're ranged. And we got a bit of experience and venture into the unknown. Oh, level 2. Health, always, right? So, yeah, the storytelling is very much inspired by old school RPGs. We have a lot of branching paths and character development, but the battles are more inspired by such games as Heroes of Might and Magic. But since we are a strategy studio, you know, the strategy elements will be a lot more tactical. We can recruit a bit of troops here, so we'll just pick a few. Not give it that much thought, but they have special abilities and everything.
That's how I play every video game.
Here are squads. So you can gather your units in different squads, and they can basically help each other out during battle. You can spread them out all over, you know, this is the battle setup,
right,
basically. So you can spread them out, but they do have abilities that, you know, help each other out. So it would be kind of stupid to do that. So yeah, for example, shield wall or a passive. So all friendly units nearby gets plus 20 defense. And they also have abilities that you can develop. What more? Yeah, so the personality trait system, if we go and talk to Skuld over here, She's actually a fate goddess, but we don't know this at this point of the game. But she wants to know who you are. So we're gonna choose one of the, already set. This is just to give you an idea. So either we're true at heart, careful and resourceful, but not afraid to threaten those who deserve it. Or I'm not a coward, but words come easy to me, and I may lie or bribe. So what do you do?
Let's see. I feel like it's a short demo. We don't have to live with the consequences. Let's pick coward. Or actually...
Not a coward.
Not a coward.
No, but you may lie.
Yeah, may lie.
Now you know who you are. So she will guide you further along your path, but she is threatening you, that, you need to search for the Velva, but she will soon die and you have challenges in your way. Run. So what you actually gain here are the traits. So you gain a bit of, you gain extravagant, you gained elusive, manipulative, and brave.
Okay.
So that's your current hero. That's and what happens with personality traits is that you unlock personality traits, and then you get consequences, and that's new answers, new options, new quests actually, and new rewards based on your traits.
Okay.
And those will go like back and forth.
Do they change a lot early on and then just less and less as the game goes on?
It's probably going to be about the same, but it's not going to be this quick.
Right.
It's going to be small changes towards so. But the thing is that as long as you really role play this game, and that I mean almost in a in your mind, you need to set like what kind of hero do I want to play, and that will sort of direct you into shaping your path.
Okay.
If you play too safe or you're too inconsistent in your choices, you're gonna have less in the game, to be frank. But it's not just 2 choices, it's 8. So it's quite unlikely that you don't get at least 1 trade or so.
Sure.
So yeah, we can talk to an NPC maybe if you find someone. Like Liv, I don't know. This is just random NPCs. Most of them actually talk about quests or what's going on in the world. This one is just for fun. So the thing is, like with reoccurring NPCs, they're supposed to be friends, almost. And they may take you further along the main story of the game. But yeah, okay, so do you want a couple of coins or do you want love, meat, and magic? How can you resist?
Let's say love, meat, and magic.
Okay, then you gain a bit of brave there. So let's go and assist him at the runestone. And this is the overview map. We haven't discovered anything. There are a lot of quests hidden throughout the world, but they're not visible until you actually accepted them.
Okay.
So this is a larger battlefield, but it's still like we have a lot of different. But this is a bit more strategically because, or you need to think a bit tactical because the terrain in our game matter. So higher ground, more damage if the enemy is beneath you, and vice versa. And you have your abilities, your units have abilities as well, but you need to be careful since you only have limited focus points. And you can see the turns in the side. You can also see health, 18 of 18, 5 of 5 in armor, and 0 of 16. 0 of 16 is actually discipline. So you inflict both physical damage and terror damage on your enemy. Once you inflict enough terror to break their discipline, they will run for it.
Okay.
The same goes for you. So, they don't flee the battlefield, they flee to different parts of the battlefield, away.
Right.
And then they stand there and try and rally and, gather strength. What is pretty cool about our battles is that we can have multiple win conditions and defeat conditions. So for example here, we have 2 defeat conditions. No, we have win condition, defeat all enemies. The defeat condition, unless we're ourselves killed, is if Karin gets killed.
Okay.
Because the undead girlfriend has joined us, and she's a unit. And if the ghosts take her out, then we lost the battle. So we'll see here how it goes. she killed them. Hey! So she actually says, take those darn runes away from him and keep them to yourself. And she says that, you know, he's a skald, not a warrior, and he's so silly. If I were alive, I would slap some sense into him. So, will you ask him to let go of your sweet memory, or make sure to tell him he's a very silly man?
Tell him he's a very silly man.
Okay, 2. So we gain experience. And the thing is, yeah, the units only gain experience from what they do. Mm-hmm. The hero gains experience both from battles and quests.
Okay. So, do you generally...
Yeah, we can just take this quickly,
sure.
Maybe. So, yeah, we tell him Karin was here. So, did she have any words for me? So, stop trying to bring her back, and for Odin's sake, go on with your life. Or she'd slap some sense into you, silly man. That's basically what you said. Are you gonna stick with it, or are you gonna lie and say she misses your sweet songs?
Let's stick with it.
Stick with it,
yeah.
Yes. That's my Karin. So, what a woman. So, he actually says, like, take these runes away from me. She's right, you know, I'll hurt myself. So,
there you go.
Yeah. And yeah, it's not probably gonna progress this fast, but you know, you get an idea of this. And we got a bit of praise because we were honest and we were brave. We told him the truth straight to his face.
I was going to ask you a second ago about the units.
Yeah.
Do you generally, like, is it possible to pick some up early on and level them up and train them throughout the whole game, or do you kind of constantly shed units to pick up new
No, you can
ones?
absolutely train the units.
Okay.
It's sort of a choice you have to make because the further along you go, the better units will probably be available.
Okay.
But you can also level up if you go to the battle master in a city. The thing is that they really need to earn their XP themselves. If you kill all the baddies, they're not getting any XP.
Okay.
They only get XP for their actions. So this is the basics for the training ground, where you can see what it costs to level up, and you can see the small arrows that says what to level up.
With the world being, you said the world is randomly generated.
Yes.
I'd imagine there's still kind of a logic that determines which cities you run into first.
Yes, right now this is a very limited build since it's alpha and preview, so we have made the world a lot smaller as well. And there are key points where you will pass that are fairly linear. But the idea is that with personality traits, you will have new options to pass those points.
Okay.
So either battle, well, she ran into battle her, Spider is gonna die. But in other situations, you might be able to talk your way through, make the monster or guardian leave, or even join your army. I don't think you can get the Spider in your army, but Yep, that's a big spider.
How frequent are these kind of non-human battles?
Well, like most battles in Midgård, I guess, is against maybe bears, wolves, trolls, spider. Okay. It's very varied, and also humans, of course. Right. But I mean, it sort of depends on what world as well. Okay. What's around, what's haunting those lands. Yeah. I mean, when you reach Helheim, which is the domain of the goddess Hel, you can imagine there's pretty much undead, but there will be different kinds of undead you fight. Oof. So that was a critical hit we just saw there. And it's a 5% chance, and then you do double the damage or double the bonus for the ability. So it sort of flashes for your eyes. You can see their shield wall is because the units are together. I think she's actually managing to take the spider down. The big one, yeah, the tiny is still living. But yeah, it is a lot of battle focus, and we really wanted to have depth in the battles. But we also wanted to make them fairly easy to grasp. Okay. So actually, if you kill the spider, there may be a quest that makes wild animals eat from the body and spread a disease throughout the lands. If you don't kill the spider, this will not happen. But even if you kill the spider, it might not happen. So
very true.
So here's the Velva that will tell us about our mission in life.
All right.
Congratulations. So she actually sent us this vision, and she tells us that the god Balder has been killed, and this is made by Loki, because he wants to trigger Ragnarock and the end of the world. And he does this because he believes this is a good thing. He believes the world is a horrible place and it needs to change. Whether Thor thinks that this is a very nice place and it should remain as it is, and that's just gonna cause him suffering and pain. So she basically guides us that we need to find Muspelheim to go and find the Horn of Mimi. These portals are usually locked. This is a fairly late part of the game. We just, made a very small build so we would reach it. So this will be maybe level 25 or something.
Oh, okay. And do you have any estimate in terms of hours how long that usually takes?
Yeah, we're in. Oh, just
to get
for
to
that,
like 25?
I would say maybe 25.
Okay.
We're aiming at 40 plus,
Okay.
for the game, but we also want it to be replayable.
Okay.
So what happens is actually before we enter is that you will be able to travel between the 4 starting worlds in your own choice. Whether the quest brings you there or where you want to start. But Muspelheim is a point where you reach further then.
Right.
So, but now we're gonna go to Muspelheim.
Okay. Look, it looks hot. It looks very hot.
They all look very, very distinct and different. I mean, Jotunheim is this place of icy and frosted. I was about to say frosted giants, but that just didn't sound right. But yeah, and everything is like based on real Norse mythology. We have gods roaming the worlds as reoccurring NPC. Odin is the old bugger trickster that is running around all over the place. Freya, the war goddess, is there.
Right.
So yeah, and we're not gonna find him. So I think this is your cue for asking any questions you want about this.
Why don't we go ahead and end with the standard closer? Can you tell us, when you guys are hoping to have it finished, and obviously we're seeing it played on a DualShock 4 controller right now.
Yes.
It's running on a PC. Clarify the platforms for us.
Okay. So it was just announced at the Sony press conference. So we're releasing it for PlayStation 4, for PC, Mac, and Linux, and we're gonna do a simultaneous release if all goes well.
All right.
And it's for the first half of 2015.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.